Okie dokie, we're back. I'm gonna get to it if I can figure out what I was doing. Yeah, I was trying out this equipment, but I'm not gonna keep it. I don't think. I just wanted to kind of try it out. So I think I'm going to. I should have leased that. I didn't though, did I? Okay, this is leased items. I have no leased items. Owned items. Yeah, let's sell this stuff because I'm not going to use it. Did I buy all of that? I must have. All right, we're going to keep some of it. Let's get rid of this. Let me think about this. I bought it. Easy cut special. We're going to keep this, I think. Let's get rid of that. Fresh Legends in the house. Hey, Fresh, how you doing? Hope you can hear me. And let's see, I don't think I need that. I don't know why I bought two of them. And then I won't need that either. I'm going to keep the wind drawer for now because I'm not sure whether I'm going to need it or not. So, yep, there we go. I hung on to this harvester here just in case. And I hung on to the baler as well. I'm just going to park this guy kind of out of the way. Kind of. And Lamborghini. Let's take the Lamborghini. I'm going to drop that piece of equipment. Dustin's in the house. Hey, Dustin, how are you? Andy's here. Hello, Andy. Scorpion's in the house. Happy Tuesday to you too, Dustin. All right, I'm going to drop this piece of equipment. We'll pick it up later if we need it. I only bought it for one job, and it's already done that job, so. Let's see here. I was going to go get that baler and get it off that field. I'm doing great, Dustin. As I said earlier, I hope you guys can hear me. That's one thing about live streaming. Have you ever seen a live stream? Well, I'm probably sure you have, but it doesn't seem like it happens too often. Almost every live stream I've ever seen, when they start, they always say, I hope you can see me, I hope you can hear me. There's really no way to test it. You just start the live stream and hope everything's working. I mean, you can test it, but you're live, so what's the test? It's not really a test. So you start your live stream, and then you come on and say, hello, hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? And hopefully they can, but it's kind of weird. That you'd think that they would be able to have a platform where you could start the live stream, but nobody could see it but you, and you can test things out and then go live all of a sudden and say, okay, everything's working right. Boom, I'm on. I don't get it. And there might be a way to do it, and I just don't know because I'm not a big live streamer. It's not how I don't make a living doing this. It's just fun. So anyway, there you go. Let's see here. Unload baler. Uh-oh, somebody left the phone in here. That can't be good. Oh, hell. It's under my chair. It fell off the counter. I got to get rid of this phone. I'll be right back. It's going to drive me nuts if I don't. That was fun, wasn't it? All right, I'm back. What the hell was that all about? Unload baler. Let's see if we can do that. Oh, you've got to do it with the keyboard. Now, see, I'm using an Xbox controller, which has a Y button on it. It's got Y, X, B, A. Anybody that's used Xbox controller knows what I'm talking about. It's different on a Sony. On a Sony, it's triangle, square, circle, that kind of thing. But on the Xbox, it's Y, X, B, and A. And so when the HUD tells me to hit the Xbox, they're talking about the keyboard X and not the X. And I get confused, and I'll hit X, and nothing happens. And you'd think I'd know better, because I've been using the dang thing for ever. Maybe it was a prank. Could have been. Scorpion. Yeah, see, that's what I have you guys here for. Scorpions, that's what my moderators are for. They're here to entertain in the chat while I'm taking care of business in the bathroom. Oh, I'm sorry, did I say that? Taking care of business in the back room. One thing about it, if I had to do that, oh, geez, I just ran over a piece of equipment. I'd let you know, that's for sure. All right, let's unhook this thing. And I know, I'm leaving it where it shouldn't be. Let's continue with some corn here. What happened? Whoa, stop it. Put that back down. This is the loudest combine. It makes a weird noise. Bang, 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 bang. Yeah, Scorpion said he'd call me out. I would let you know. We do that. I mean, come on, guys. How many times have you played an MMO? You know, like World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy, anything that you're playing with other people. There are times where you have to let your mates know that, hey, it's a bio break time. Everybody needs to take one, and they need to know you're gone, or they'll say, why are we getting killed when our healers, you know, where's our healer at? Well, he did say he was going on a bio break. Bill knows what I'm talking about. Hey, Bill, how's it going? So, as far as I'm concerned, that's why I got you guys, Bill and Scorpion, and I think Gino is one. And if something happens to me, it's time for you guys to entertain. And things happen. I thought about it before I started the live stream. I'm using, I told you, an Xbox controller. And I use battery packs. So sometimes the batteries go dead, and then I have to change one in the middle. Here's the bad news. I'm playing some Final Fantasy lately, and I've had soybeans in this. I have soybeans in it. I've had times where I've been in a dungeon with either 3 other people, because you can do parties of 4 people or 8 people, depending on the dungeon and the mob. So I've either got 7 people with me or 3 people with me, and all of a sudden my controller goes out right in the middle of a battle. That's bad. It's not so bad here. I can just, hey, my controller's out, be right back. Scorpion, come in here and do a tap dance. Thomas Johansson's in the house. How you doing, Thomas? Dustin, you should have asked Santa Claus for it. Maybe he'd have brought it for Christmas. It's always next year, I guess. Things are doing well with Thomas. That's good. I'm doing good. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I'm having myself. I had some lunch just before I came on. Late lunch. Well, not too late. Half hour late. I try to keep a pretty constant schedule on my meals. But I decided to have... I went to the fridge for something to drink. And I decided to have a V8. I haven't had one of those forever. So my wife walked in the kitchen. She's, "What you looking for?" I slapped my forehead, said, "Oh, I could have had a V8. She says, "There's one in the fridge." And I said, "I know, that's why I'm in the fridge." I kind of like V8. I'm debating, though, whether I like it cold out of the fridge or warm out of the cupboard. Most things I like cold. But I'm thinking, because I wanted one not too long ago and there wasn't any in the fridge, so I just grabbed one out of the cupboard. And I think I like it that way. To me, it seemed like the vegetables had a more flavor to them when they're not cold. But I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Wintertime in Sweden, 10 Celsius and rain. We got snow today, believe it or not. It didn't stay because it was 40-some degrees out. And my wife says, "How's it snowing at 40 degrees? And I said, "Well, you got to remember, if you go up about 30 feet or 40 feet or higher, it's probably colder. And that's where the snow's coming from." But the weatherman said we were supposed to get snow, and we did get snow. We're at sea level. It was cold enough. Let's see, it only got to about 35 last night. But it was a little bit... no, it got a little bit... No, that's right, it was 35. So it did snow, but it didn't stick. But we're supposed to have a little bit more tomorrow, snow flurries. And it's supposed to be down to 28 tonight, so... we might get a little bit of snow that sticks for longer than 5 minutes. There's no name in Spanish for scorpion? I know, he's talking about his real name. Wish for a canoe? For the Rainland? We're doing some corn here. I'm gonna make a corn cob pipe and smoke it. For some reason, my mic's been going on and off all day. I don't know what that's all about. I hope it stays for the live stream. It seems to happen when I do something particular. So during the live stream, I won't do anything particular. Now, whatever that particular thing was I was doing, I don't know. So I'll just try not to do it while I'm live streaming. Everybody right about now saying, "What the hell is he talking about?" Well, I don't know what I'm talking about. That's why I say it. Isn't that peculiar? Life is a peculiar thing. I'm debating whether to keep that that other combine Scorpion, the one I tried out in the last live stream. Did anybody like that? I don't know if I did. I haven't decided yet. So I haven't decided whether to keep it. And of course, I'm talking about this monster. Oh my God, it's got stuff in it, doesn't it? I better get that stuff out of there. What's in it? Corn. Corn's in it. Okay, I gotta get the corn truck, so... Let's run over and get the corn out of that. If you want a fun ride. Doing porn. What? I said corn. And hey, Bill's drinking tea, he said. You go, you go. You teetotaler, you. So what do you do in Sweden when it snows? Does everybody ski? I can't keep up with these countries. I don't know which one's the ones that ski all the time and yodel. They're yodeling and skiing all the time, and they have something for a cold, sore throat. Bill's sick, he said. Well, that's not good. Snowball fights. Chasing polar bears. Okay, what do you have, the polar bears in bikinis or something, or why would you chase them? Then why do you call your women polar bears anyway? Switzerland. Is that where Switzerland, they yodel and do that kind of stuff? I was talking to a couple of guys from across the pond the other night, yesterday I think it was actually, and one of them says to the other, he says, where in the world do you live? And the other guy says, I'm in Norway. And the guy from Britain, the British guy, he made the comment that Norway has the most beautiful women in the world, bar none. Let's not dig on women. Who's digging on women? Oh, because I said something about a polar bear. Well, that was Bill, not me. I love women. So now I've been wanting to take a trip to Norway. Most of the women where I live that are from other countries are from Finland. There's a large Finnish population in this area of Oregon that I live in. Better shut that tractor down. I don't want to waste fuel, you know what I mean? Why is that tractor out here? Oh, I think I was pulling the baler with that, wasn't I? Or was I? No. I was pulling the other grass mower. That's what it was. Okay. All right. What? No. Why does? What's that got to do with Norway? Because their women are big, large, and strong? I don't know. That's just what he said. He said that Norway's women were the best looking women in the world. I wouldn't know. Never been there. John's in the house. Hey, John. How are you? I don't know if we've got anybody from Norway. That come into the live stream. A sugar beet tour. You go to Hawaii and get a tour of the sugar cane fields, and it'd be a lot warmer. Bill said it's like freezing and rainy and snowy there. Okay, now did I do all of my property? Where am I? Where am I at? I'm not quite sure where I'm at. Okay. Nope, I got all this property over here, but I think I got all of the corn done. Did I do this one? I'm pretty sure I did. I'm pretty sure I did. All right, so we got to move this guy to the next field. Through those trees, I think. And I got a lot of straw to pick up, and I need to... Oh, I missed a spot. Okay, Thomas says he's Swedish. Do you know Bill? You guys all know each other, don't you? Andy's got a big question mark. What? What? Oh, I think I'm losing it. Now this is a weird field. I don't know how much of this is mine. Like, is that patch mine right there? You don't have access to this. Oh, yes I do. No, I don't. This is not my field. Okay. Won't let me do it. Guess this little patch is mine. I was trying to harvest the shrubs in between there. It didn't work. Well, I tell you, this terrain farming here is like putting a puzzle together. All these little pieces of land you have. Must be swampy down there. What's that orange thing for? Gonna mow this tree down. Almost got a full tank again. want to mow those weeds down, get them out of the way. Here, look. We got the overhead look. It looks like a set of hair clippers going through somebody that's got a really weird shaped head. Uh-oh, I'm full. Alright, full up. I'll go get the truck. Well, I'm used to having a truck. It's not a truck. We'll get the tractor. So what's happening with you guys? Anything big going on in everybody's lives? You're past the holidays and back to work and school. Everybody's getting a little bit of winter weather. That's one thing I was going to tell Scorpion about living in Texas. At least he doesn't have to worry about snowstorms keeping him from getting to work. Yep, my V8 has been sitting here since I had my lunch, so it's not cold like it was out of the fridge, and I really think that there's more flavor to it when it's warm, more vegetable flavor. I'm not a salad eater. I don't think salad's a food, but I do like vegetables, but I like them raw mostly. I do enjoy some cooked vegetables once in a while, depending on what it is. But for the most part, I just like to grab a carrot raw, grab a cucumber, eat it. That kind of thing. I like raw vegetables. I just don't like salads. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'll tell you what I really don't like, and that's what a restaurant calls a salad. When you order a meal and they bring a salad over, and all it is a plate of lettuce and nothing else. That's not a salad. That's a plate of lettuce. That's not food. Bring me some food. Now, I do kind of enjoy, because I do like vegetables, I do kind of enjoy a type of salad. To me, a salad has radishes, maybe a little lettuce, maybe even some cabbage. I'd prefer cabbage over lettuce. To me, lettuce doesn't have any flavor. Cabbage has a flavor to it. Radishes, some olives, some maybe a boiled egg in it. What else do you put in a salad? Carrots, cucumbers, you know, all kinds of stuff. That's a salad to me. If you put a bunch of stuff in it, some spinach. I like spinach. An alien joke? What's an alien joke? What'd I miss? Mostly vegetables, mostly. Okay, yeah, Alien 2. That's a reference to Alien 2. Newt said that. I have a brother named Newt. His real name's Norman, but we called him Newt ever since he was a baby. Something like what they call a Caesar salad is more of in my mind, a real salad. A bowl of lettuce is not a salad or a plate. And they bring that to you in a restaurant. That's why whenever they say soup or salad, give me some soup. At least I know there's, you know, something in it besides. Well, that isn't always true either. I've had a bowl of soup that was a little more than a water with a bouillon cube in it. Tomato is a salad. I like tomatoes, but again, I like them raw. If I eat a tomato, I would slice it into slices, put a little salt on it, and just eat it. You know, hell, I even eat onions. You know, kind of like I mean, I don't always sit and eat them like an apple, but I can. We have these sweet onions where I'm from, Walla Walla, Washington. There used to be a Walla Walla sweet onion. It's a big onion, looks the size of a softball, and sweeter than all get out. They're good onions. A tomato is a tomato. You say potato, we say potato. Thomas. What's that, Thomas? What's that you say? Sign language. Like a 10-15 onion down here. 10-15, huh? You can only eat 10-15. Pizza? Well, now you brought up another subject. People like different kinds of pizzas. Like, I know people that just go crazy when somebody puts pineapple and Canadian bacon on a pizza. We call it a Hawaiian pizza. Why, I don't know. Just because of the pineapple, I guess. Now, that's my wife's favorite pizza is a Canadian bacon and pineapple pizza. I don't mind it. Some people just go ape crap over somebody eating a pizza with pineapple on it. Well, I go the same way with somebody that puts anchovies on a pineapple on a pizza. That's just gross. But hey, put anything you want on a pizza. I knew a guy from London. He used to buy like those thick flour tortillas, and he would use those like a burrito size, and he would make his own tomato paste and make his own pizzas using a tortilla. I thought that was kind of clever, though. But pineapple and banana, yeah, I don't know if I'd go with the banana. Sausage, pepperoni, onions, and mushrooms for me, yep. And maybe some olives. I would add olives to that, Scorpion. We have these places that we go to sometimes to get a pizza and bring it home and cook it yourself. Used to be Papa Aldo's. I think it's something else now. Papa Murphy's, I think. And we always got one called a cowboy, and it's pretty much what Scorpion's talking about right there. Sausage, pepperoni, onions, mushrooms, and olives. And they call it a cowboy. Why, I don't know. I lost my combine. There it is. Yeah, they call it a cowboy. It doesn't come with a saddle or anything. I don't know why they call it a cowboy. I think they call it a cowboy because it's got all the meat in it. It's got sausage, pepperoni, and that's it. What else do you put meat-wise on a pizza? Hamburger sometimes. Mostly sausage and pepperoni, I think. Papa Murphy's, yeah, that's the place. I don't mind their pizza. Some of them can be different. We had one that came in. These people bought the franchise Papa Murphy's, right? And they were 9 to 5 working people, and they thought for some reason that people that own restaurants just took money in hand over fist. That is far from the truth. Restaurant work is hard work, and it's not a guarantee for making a lot of money. Restaurants come and go all the time. And anybody that thinks that, well, yeah, I'm a real estate agent, so I can buy a restaurant and make a killing. No, you better know how to cook. You better know how to run a restaurant, or you're going to lose your butt. Well, these people bought this Papa Murphy's franchise. They put it in, and like I said, they're 9 to 5 working people. So they still have their daytime job, and they hire somebody to manage this restaurant, thinking they're just going to rake money in hand over fist. Well, to do it inexpensively, they chose to hire teenagers to work at the pizza parlor. Well, you'd go in there, and these teenagers would be throwing pizza dough at each other, and they were just like a barrel of monkeys. And surprise, surprise, this place was out of business before you knew it. One thing that they found out is they weren't making any money. And so they decided that they needed to make a cheaper product so that they could make more of a profit. So they started putting like powdered cheese on it instead of real cheeses. And oh God, it was awful. And yeah, like I say, they were out of business before they even knew they were open. Bye, Dustin. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Let's stop talking about pizza. I just had one last night. Well, anyway, there is a couple of those Papa Murphy's in our area that actually do a very good job. They're actually very good pizzas. At least I like them. I enjoy them. And people eat their pizzas different. Some people like a real thin, crispy dough. I don't. I like a thick, chewy one. And to me, a pizza is if you eat a pizza and there's grease running down your arms, to me that's a good pizza. We had a place called Godfather's Pizza, and they used to make a Chicago pan, and oh my God, it's a thick crust pizza with everything on it, and they'd bring you a pizza and hand it to you, and you better have both arms out because that sucker weighed a ton. But they were good. I love pizza. Pizza's good. Pizza's got every food group in it, as far as I'm concerned. We got a lot of local ones. There was one in Bend, Oregon, and the pizza parlor was like a ski chalet. You know those places that they have buildings that they show that have a really, really high angled roof? This place had that. And like a ski chalet, and in the back they had about 4 sand volleyball courts, and it was a sports bar, right? And I can't remember the guy's name, but he had a thing that he did with his pizzas, and that was he would make the pizza very, very big. It was a big pizza. And I'm talking about diameter, around. It was like a large pizza. And the dough, he would build the pizza on the inside of the circle, and he would leave about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. Yeah, it was more like 2 inches. All the way around the pizza was a thicker crust than the rest of the pizza. And when you cooked the pizza, it cooked that outside circle turned into like a breadstick all the way around. And so then the stuff you built the pizza with was 2 inches from the outside and into the center. So you got your pizza, and on the outside was like a breadstick, and you would tear the outside off, and then on the table he'd have 4 or 5 different kinds of dips that you could dip that bread in. And that was always kind of cool because you got everything was built on the pizza. I thought that was kind of cool. I've never been to a place that did that before. That was kind of neat. Psycho Gamer, what do you have to say? Probably something we shouldn't have seen, huh? I thought you ate pizza all the time, Bill. We don't have a Papa John's where I live. We've got let's see, we've got a Domino's. I don't know if I've ever eaten there. Most of the pizza parlors we have here on the coast are home-owned pizza parlors. They're not chains outside of the Papa Murphy's that I was talking about. There's 2 of those. One in 2 different towns. But most of the pizza parlors are home-owned, and a lot of them aren't just pizza parlors. They're like a sports bar with a pizza parlor in it, or a bowling alley with a pizza parlor in it, something like that. Domino's. You know what I used to say about Domino's? I used to say, order a Domino's pizza, eat the box, and throw the pizza away. You'll have a better meal. Pizza Hut. I used to like Pizza Hut, but our local Pizza Hut isn't very good. I don't know what the difference is. I call it Pizza Smut. I don't know why. Jalapeno House in Klamath. I'll have to look that up. Bill, for those of you who don't know, Bill's from Sweden, but he comes over to Oregon about once a year. He has a friend that lives over here. I've heard that Domino's is better, but I do swear I really did think that if you bought a Domino's pizza and just ate the cardboard box it came in, you'd get a better meal. It's just my opinion. But then again, it depends on what kind of pizza you like, you see. I like a thick crust, more doughy pizza. And some people like it crisp and thin. So, depends what you like. I think the Domino's were more of a thin crust pizza. Crispy, that kind of thing. I don't know. What do I know? I don't eat at Domino's. We just got the Domino's within the last year. And they must sell a lot of pizzas because I see the Domino's pizza deliveries are everywhere. I mean, you see them everywhere. So somebody must be ordering pizzas. Gourmet pizza, huh? Brooklyn. Yeah, that'd be cool. Go to Italy and have a pizza. And sit in a leaning tower and wait for it to fall down. Going to Italy, Sicilian style all the way. You got it, Metallic. Talking about Italy, there were two farmers that took a vacation, and they decided to go overseas and do kind of a semi-world tour. When they got back to the farm, one of their farming neighbors came over and they was talking to one of the brothers, and he said, "Oh, you guys back from Europe? How was your trip?" And he said, "Oh, it was really wonderful. We had such a good time." And he says, "What about Bill?" And now Bill's crippled. He has to wear crutches, and so he says, "What about Bill? Did he have a good time?" And the brother said, "Oh, Bill had a wonderful time. We went to Italy and we got to have pizza, and we got to see some tower that's fallen down, all kinds of stuff, and yeah, Bill just had a wonderful time." And he said, "Then we got to Rome, and we got to go to the Vatican." Well, how'd Bill like the Vatican? Oh, Bill loved the Vatican. He said the Pope came out to talk to Bill, and the Pope has this little stick, I think they call it a scepter, and he walks up to Bill and he touches Bill's right arm, and the crutch just goes flying out of Bill's arm. And the neighbor said, "Oh my God, then what happened?" And he says, "Well, then the Pope sprayed some kind of sprinkly water on brother Bill, and then he touched him with that little stick and the other arm, and the other crutch went flying out from his arm." He says, "Oh my God, it was a miracle." He says, what happened to Bill then?" And he said, "Well, he fell on his ass. He crippled, you know." Sorry, it's an old joke. Whoa, full up. I still haven't got my power back, for those of you that remember. And I had to apologize. I wasn't able to do that live stream last Thursday. Like I told you, we had my wife had to we both had a dentist appointment, and then I had to take my wife in for a stress test. Now, the interesting thing is, 2 nights before that, my wife had trouble with her neck and back, and the doctor prescribed her a muscle relaxant, and she took it and immediately got sicker than hell. I mean, really, really sick. I mean, she's laying in bed screaming she just wants to die. The pain's so bad. And so I'm looking at the damn thing, and they give you a paper with this medicine that tells you the 100 ways you can die from taking it. It's amazing. It's just amazing. I'm reading all these things, and of course one of them is severe stomach aches. And if that happens, just don't take no more, and you may have to see a doctor or something. And a matter of fact, at one point it said it could be fatal. Side effects on this. I thought, well, why in the hell would you take something like that? Well, anyway, she wasn't doing well, so I had to take her into the emergency room. And so I spent the night in the emergency room with my wife. It was the day that I had the last live stream, last Tuesday. And we were there maybe 4 or 5 hours, and finally they decided that, they fixed her up so the pain was relieved a little, and did a bunch of tests on her, stuff like that. And they then decided to do a CT scan. For those of you, a CT scan is what they call a CAT scan. But they decided to do that on her stomach just to make sure that it was, was it the medicine? Was it? Or was it something else? So they decided to do a CAT scan on her abdomen to make sure that that's all it was that a side effect from the medicine. Well, as it turns out, she has a high anal hernia. Interestingly enough, she thought she did before, and the doctor said no, she didn't. Well, now she had a CAT scan that proves that she does. And so that they think that might have contributed, along with the medicine, that something about the medicine didn't set well. Well, so Anyway, Thursday comes around, and we decided she better still go in for that other test, and so I wasn't able to do a live stream. That's to make a short story long, which I'm pretty good at. Bill didn't think I was talking about him because I was talking about a farmer named Bill, did he? I think I'm on a different field now. What happened? I think I jumped fields somehow. Alexa got better. God, thank God. Really, it's pretty bad when you hear your wife in the bedroom screaming she wants to die. And she's been through some serious pain before. So I was a little concerned. I hate hospitals anyway. Well, at least she got a room. The last time I thought I was having a heart attack a couple months ago, I went in. And they didn't have any rooms in the emergency room. They put me in a closet pretty much. They had a bed out in the hall in a hallway, and that's where I ended up. Which is pretty bad. I got to see a lot of action though. I'm laying in a hallway on a bed while they're doing their thing to me. Everybody's walking by, people are walking by, and they're hauling people in that are really seriously hurt. I'm just sitting there rubbernecking. Hi, how are you? Waving like I'm in a parade as people go by. It wasn't very fun. Nurse came up, wanted to know if I had to go to the bathroom or anything. I said, hell no. With that robe you gave me, my ass is hanging out. I'm not. It's not like I'm in a private room. I'm not walking across the hospital like that. I'll just hold it till I get home. Yeah, we had a tough week last week. So now I got to remember on this particular farm, the corn windrow that I've got here is not straw. And also the other crop over there, the soybeans, has a windrow that, as you know, in this game, normally you don't have windrow with soybeans. So I got to remember when I pick it up to keep it separate. I don't think it'll put it together, but keep the straw and the corn windrow separate because I have to sell it in a particular place. So anyway, I was telling you, I still haven't got my room, power to my room. I'm still running my one computer here. Of the 3 computers, I got one running from an extension cord from across the hall from the master bedroom. It's completely dark in here. There's no lights. I do have the window open right now today, but after about like 4 o'clock, it gets pretty damn dark in here. So my wife bought me, just coincidentally, a table lamp that plugs into a USB port. So that's the only light I've got in this room, sitting on my desk here, and it's plugged into the PC. Pretty funny. And I've been this for 2 weeks now. We're having trouble finding a electrician, which is kind of strange because when I open up the phone book for the coast here, there's about 20 of them. There's electricians. There's 3 or 4 pages in the yellow pages of electricians, but you can't get anybody to get here. They're all busy. As a matter of fact, half of them don't even answer their phone. You get an answering machine, and I haven't got a reply from any of them. So I'm waiting to see if I can find an electrician. So finally, Carol went into one of them is one of the bigger ones in town. Has a storefront, so she went to their store and said, "Look, we're trying to find an electrician, but nobody will give us a call back." And the woman says, "Oh, well, the boys do their own scheduling, and they're all out on jobs, so we'll have to take a message and have one of them call you back, whichever one has the time. And I thought, oh, here we go again. And still 3 days later, I still haven't heard anything from anybody. I'm kind of getting used to working in the dark, though. But consequently, I haven't been recording anything. It's a good thing I'm live streaming, I guess. It's a good thing I already had Witchers done. I had the Witcher done, and I had most of the Outer Worlds done, but I ran out of Minecraft, so I'm going to have to try to do some Minecraft recording. I don't know when I'm going to do it. I might, I don't know. I just don't know. When I built this PC that I'm using right now, I did not put a Wi-Fi unit in it because I didn't think I'd ever use it with Wi-Fi. Well, now, if I move out of the internet to the house goes into my office, which has no electricity. So I'm running the internet off of a extension as well. Yeah. Thankfully, the people that we did call, if they ever call us back, they're pretty good about working. They do a lot of commercial stuff, but they're pretty good about working with civilians, what I call civilians. In that they want to hear all that you have to say, and then they want to look at what they've got to work with as far as the electrical box, things like that, before they even give you an estimate, and that's all free. So they'll look the place over for free and try to determine where they need to look for the problem, and then they'll give you an estimate of what they think that they'll. And of course, they go by the hour. I can't remember how many $100 it is an hour. It's over 100, I know, an hour. Buried outlets behind furniture. Yeah, that's the problem, Metallic. That's the problem right now. The two rooms that my office is not so bad, except for there's an outlet underneath my workstation. Now my workstation is 4 feet wide. I'm sorry, 8 feet wide, and 4 feet deep, and there is an outlet that is in the hardest place to get to under there. So I'm gonna have to take, and on this workstation are 3 computers, 5 monitors, and a 55-inch 4K television. So I'm gonna have to move all of that and all the wiring and all that stuff off this workstation, so that I can move the workstation, so that if he has to get to that outlet, he can do so. And I'm not paying him $100 an hour to wait for me to do that. So I'm going to have to start doing that and sometime soon. As soon as he gives me a call when they're going to be here, I'm going to have to do that. Now the other part is I do have an outlet or two behind a bookshelf, because my office also is a library. I've got a library. And I've got tons and tons and tons of books and bookshelves, from floor to ceiling bookshelves, I'm talking. So fortunately, there's only one that I know of that has an outlet behind it. And what I did was, I plugged in a power strip and let it from behind to the front, so that I can use the outlet, because there's a bookshelf there, but But the bookshelf that's there has a little ledge on the bottom that a power strip kind of tucked right in. So I've got a power strip there, but if he has to get to that outlet, I'm going to have to take all the books off and move that shelf. Pain in the butt. Saves electricity. Scorpion says it saves electricity. I tell you what it saves, because it doesn't save the electricity. Here's what happens. My studio, my office, with all this equipment running, I've never had heat in here. There is no heat in this room. I don't need it. As a matter of fact, half the time in the winter, I'm working with the window open because it's warm in here with all these equipment, all these computers. Now that I'm only running this one computer and one monitor, I'm getting cold in here. So I have to leave the door open and put a fan from the other room to kind of blow some heat in here. It's really weird. Life, I tell you. Nothing you can do but live it. And I guess we're lucky to do that. Scorpion, did you ever hook more than 2 of these gravity things together? These gravity trailers? I tell you, we're working the snot out of this farm, and I still haven't got through the harvest. Metallic, are you at work? Are you home now? By the way, guys, Metallic that's in here is a friend of mine that actually is an electrician. So he's been giving me some good advice. The only problem is he's on East Coast, I'm on West Coast. Getting dinner ready. Have you logged into the game today? Because didn't they do the January update today? Jeremy Burton's in the house. Hey, Jeremy, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. Anyway, I heard the January update was today. I haven't logged in today. And I also heard they're having some FPS bugs. Some people are saying that their FPS is dropping down to like 5. I think I'm going to finish this field off before I jump back over to that other one. Anybody got any new maps they're playing? I ask every live stream, but you never know. Sometimes that perfect map is out there, and you just haven't heard of it yet. Well, I guess we got some pretty cool things. In our space game that I play, Elite Dangerous, some of you guys have seen some of the videos I've done, but I don't do very many of it. We have an NPC that we can hire, and some of our ships have a flight deck in it, so you can launch a fighter, a small fighter from your mothership, and you can either fly it yourself, or you can hire a pilot, an NPC pilot. Well, the problem is you have to train this pilot up. You get a rookie pilot, and the more you use them, they level up and they get better. And then if something happens that your mothership blows up, well, there goes your pilot. Even though the pilot is in another ship that's not been blown up. And so we were all complaining that, look, we spent tons and tons of time leveling and money because we have to pay these pilots. They're not free. You have to pay them out of your spoils, your rewards, of bounty hunting, or whatever it is that you're doing. And so you could lose a very valuable pilot, and then that maybe you spent a year training. So they finally did something about it in this update we got today. Supposedly now, if for some reason you get in a bind and you can't get out and you blow your ship up, and your pilot, I'm guessing, would be stranded in space, because, but anyway, you're able to purchase your same pilot back. So it's like an insurance policy. If your pilot gets killed, they'll resurrect it for you, because, like the Princess Bride, they're not dead. They're only just mostly dead. And you can get Miracle Max in here to give them a special pill that brings them back to life for money. So depending on how much training that pilot had. But anyway, who cares? We're happy with that, or at least I am. I'm saying all this because you should be watching those. I should do some more recording of Elite Dangerous. It's kind of a boring game for people to watch, though, because we spend a lot of time traveling from system to system. When you're flying through space, it's not an easy task. Space is big. Space is vast. That sounds like a pirate term. It's vast, ye mateys. Scorpion's been watching Lost in Space Season 2. I'm only hoping that the Lost in Space Season 2 is at least got some better real-life physics and science to it. Because they had some terrible science in the first season. I mean, unbelievable science. It was so bad. They're on a planet that they crashed a ship into the water in the first episode. I think it's the first episode. Their daughter has to swim down to the ship to do something. I can't remember what, because it wasn't that important that you want to remember. And nighttime's coming on. And nighttime, I guess, gets really cold. It gets so cold that the water in this lake freezes almost instantly. And she's caught in this lake of frozen whatchadinger. And they're trying to dig her out. And the people trying to dig her out are her family. And they're all but in shirt sleeves. Now, wait a minute. It's so cold it can freeze a whole lake instantly, almost. And you're out in shirt sleeves? Who wrote this? And the whole series was like that. I was entertained, don't get me wrong. I was entertained. But the science was terrible. Yeah, I hope so. We're supposed to be getting fleet carriers in this game. Fleet carrier is big. some of the ships in this game, almost all the ships are pretty good size. The smallest ship in the game looks like a shuttlecraft to you, but is actually the size of a passenger airline. But you can dock ships on this, and we're supposed to be able to buy one. So we've been out mining for what, like Metallic said, about 6 months now, straight. I had over 16 billion from mining, but I just took a trip and bought and engineered a couple more ships up, and so I dropped down below 15. And yesterday I went on for about a couple hours and happened to get my 15 billion back. I didn't quite get my 16 back, but I got most of 15 back. So I got to do some more mining now. Brian Gums in the house. Brian, how you doing, buddy? Everything's fine on my end. How about yours? Life treating you well? Okay, I don't know if I got any more corn or not. I'm going to deliver this right at the moment, and we'll see. Let me put this header, fold this header up, get it ready to drop. I'm going to go get Mr. Wibbly Wobbly over there, I think. And drop the corn header. This thing, hang on. Hang on. I gotta get closer. This thing, listen to this when it starts up. I love this combine. Now that's not the half of it. This is a turbine combine. Listen to that. That whistle, that turbine whistle. It sounds like a jet plane taking off. Alright, I gotta find my other header. I think it's over here. Yeah, the camera on this thing is really weird. You can get... I'm gonna get seasick on this damn thing. Oh, it's got... Oh, did I mention it's got a Jake brake on it? It's got an engine... Oh, I'm on the wrong side. It's got an engine brake on it. Truckers call them Jake brakes in America. I think they call them engine brake or some other kind of brake in England. It could be a coffee brake or a tea brake. I don't know. Some kind of brake. I don't speak English, so I couldn't tell you. Alright, so we're going to grab this thing. We're going to run over to that other field over there. Because now it's time to do... well, I've got corn in this. I got to get rid of this corn, but it's time to do some soybeans, I think. Yeah, this thing's a monster. The Tribine. Scorpion, did you ever fix the brakes on these things? I haven't had time to go into the editor and fix the brakes on it, but Scorpion says the brakes are a little wanky. Or wonky. Is it wonky or wanky? I never know. English people call people wankers. Maybe that's why I say wanky. I think wonky's the word that I'm looking for. Oh no, didn't take it all. Alright, well I gotta come back. Because I gotta have that corn out of there or I won't be able to put soybeans in it. Look, look, they love each other. They're kissing. Oh, I forgot these things are articulated dollies on these things. See if I can get some air on it. Oh, not really. You think you fixed it? Does it stop on a dime now? It'll stop on a dime and give you change. At any rate, unless something else happens, if I get a hold of an electrician, which I don't think is going to happen anytime soon, as long as he doesn't come on Thursday, I should be able to do my normal live stream on Thursday. So. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I didn't use the Jake when I was driving truck. I didn't use the Jake brake much. Well, a lot of towns prohibit them because sometimes they're pretty loud. Yeah, a lot of people don't understand how a diesel engine works. A diesel engine works different than a gas-fueled engine. Alrighty, back to the field we go. Ho, ho, ho. I feel like one of the seven dwarfs. Hi ho, it's off to work I go. Electricians are expensive movers. Yeah, that's why I want to know when they're going to be here so I can get furniture out of the way. I'm actually pretty lucky in my office. There are only 2 outlets that aren't open where you can just readily get to it. So it won't take long. I just have a lot of work to do. If I know they're coming, I just have to clear this desk of all the computers. I should just do that anyway. I can't really use the computers. I don't have power. I got 4 monitors sitting here that can't even come on. I could at least get those picked up. And maybe that's what I'll do tomorrow. I didn't want to do it today. I knew I had the live stream to do. Tomorrow maybe I'll get up and pack up all that stuff and get that table cleared off. So then when guy decides to come here, I can easily move that table so that he can get to the outlet. But the rest of them are all pretty much open, except for the one I told you about that was behind a bookshelf. And there is a chance that he won't have to get to that if he finds an issue with the breaker box, let's say. Then I won't necessarily have to have him mess around with the outlets. If he can get the power corrected, I can do the outlets myself. I've done some electrical work myself. And I have looked into the problem, but I ran into some issues that didn't make sense to me and kind of scared me out of messing around with it. Listen to that turbo. This reminds me of Whistling Pete. Remember Whistling Pete? That truck I used to drive? I did drive a truck that had a turbine on it. It was a white Volvo, but the engine was a Detroit diesel, and it had a turbine on it, and it did whistle like that. It's weird if you're not used to it. If you're used to a different kind of engine, because the first truck I had was a Cummins. They make a distinctive sound. And then I did drive one that had a Cat engine in it, and it sounds a little bit different as well. But when you drive like a Detroit diesel with a turbine on it, you can tell. I mean, it sounds a lot different. It does whistle like that. This thing's going to make me seasick. It's not so bad when you're actually doing the harvest. When you're just driving this thing around, man, it bounces around like a combine's rocking. Don't bother knocking. I did. Andy remembers. People were complaining about Whistling Pete, so I took the whistle out. I went into the sound files and found out which one it was. Now, sometimes these mods are not easy to mess with. That particular mod, it had about 8 or 9 sound files to it, and so you had to find just the right one. You have a full out throttle. You've got idle. You've got running idle. There's braking. There's a lot of sound files related to the engines. I had to find the particular one that was the whistle and take it out. Yeah, I keep you posted. Hopefully you'll get the power back soon. It's been 2 weeks now. All right, Scorpion, drive carefully. Did we lose Bill already? We got talking about pizza and Bill was getting upset. He's a pizza eater. Bill's still here. No, Bill, you said you haven't eaten pizza for a while. I thought you ate a lot of pizza. Anybody seen Gino lately? I haven't seen Gino forever. Maybe he went on another world tour. That's right. Isn't that where his woman? He calls her his woman. Isn't that where his woman's from? Thailand. Remember old Jim? I miss Jim too. Haven't seen him forever. Now there's a game I haven't played for a while. American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator. I wonder what kind of changes they've made in those games. I haven't played them forever. Might as well finish this little patch up, and I won't have to come back on this side. Yeah, I wonder if he's still around. Old Jim. Dar came in a while back. I haven't heard from Lynn for a while. I wonder how her husband's doing. I bet it's cold where they're at. Lynn and her husband live up in the tundra. It's plenty cold up there in the Yukon. Live up in the Yukon in a small town of about 500 to 900 people. I can't remember. It's a very small town. But pretty nasty weather. They had, she had problems with watching the streams and stuff because they're allotted X amount of time a month on the internet. However that works, I don't know how that works, but they have an allotment of time, and that's all they get. So she had to really pick and choose what she did on the internet. Now, I don't think that's my field over there. I'm pretty sure it's not. Let me run over and see. Robert Archin, or Aiken maybe, I don't know. That's not my field. Okay, am I done now? Nope, I got another field over there. Ha 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 ha. I need another soup du jour. That V8 kind of made me sick. All right, we got some rough terrain here that I'm having trouble keeping the header down. This is an interesting mod. I don't know. It's quirky enough that I like it, I guess. I keep having trouble with this, though. It's articulated, and I keep thinking that rear end is a trailer. It's not. It's part of the combine. It's articulated. So I'm having trouble backing up with it. Normally with a trailer you have to turn it in the opposite direction you want it to go. Well, that's not the case with this because it's an articulation. It's not a trailer. Oh, I forgot to ask Scorpion. He must be back at work. Scorpion had last week off. Unfortunately, he lost an uncle unexpectedly and took some time off work. So he had last week off. I haven't talked to him much. He was busy. I was busy. Last week was tough. I've mentioned it many, many times, but when I was a younger man, I didn't let stress bother me. I was the least stressed person in the room. Nothing bothered me, nothing. And man, I tell you, Every year that goes by, more things bother me. Now almost everything bothers me. So when the power went out of those 2 rooms, that's just been driving me sick. And on top of that, having Carol getting sick. And I don't know if I told you guys the story about Carol's got a neck problem and a back problem. And it's mostly her neck. That happened several years ago. We were on vacation and we had a kayak, and she was looking for a second kayak. So we had to stop for a break anyway in our traveling. And so I pulled the truck over and the fifth wheel. Me and the kids and Carol went into a hardware store. Now, it was a sporting goods hardware store, and they had kayaks, and she wanted to look for a kayak. Now, you got into this, what was like a big warehouse, and they had all the kayaks standing against the wall, and they had them tied up, and they somehow, but there were a couple of them that were kind of loose, and Carol saw these 2 women. One of them was in a wheelchair. And they went over to the kayaks, and they were messing with the kayaks. And I thought it was strange at the time, but it didn't really enter my mind until we saw one of the kayaks start to fall, and it was going to fall on this woman with the wheelchair. Carol ran over and stopped it. And that's when she hurt her neck. Now, this was years ago. Now, where she hurt a disc in her neck doing that for this woman. We found out later that it was a scam thing. They were expecting to kind of fake an accident and sue the store. And but you know, short story long. If you remember the guy that played Superman that fell off the horse and broke his neck, that vertebrae that they're talking about that paralyzed him is about the same place where Carol's got this disc problem from that silly accident. So she's had neck problems most of her adult life from that silly accident. And that's what was causing the pain the other night, that she took the muscle relaxant. You know, the thing about muscle relaxants, I should ask the doctor. If you take a pill that relaxes your muscle, isn't your heart a muscle? What does it do to your heart? Does it make it stop beating or something? I mean, really, seriously, how does that work? Gall, how are you? Thanks, I appreciate it. Thanks for liking the videos. I can always count on Dennis because he likes the videos, and I never know whether people do or not. Because I certainly don't get the views I used to get. I used to get pretty good views, and I don't anymore. And it's understandable. A lot of people aren't getting the views they used to get. A lot of channels are much bigger than mine are having problems now. Time moves on. People get watching other things. And all right, what's the deal here? Huh? Do I have to be in the combine? That's not normal. I do have to be in the combine. That's weird. I didn't think you had to. You didn't? Did you used to have to? You used to could. Uh-oh, I left my tractor running. How are you, Dennis? Well, I think I'm done with the harvest. I got to get the rest of that those soybeans, and then I need to start picking up this straw so that I can plow and plant and sow my seeds. if you will. This map is, where's Andy? Andy. What's the name of this map, Andy? I can't remember. It's Wisconsin, I think. Wesby. I always get that part wrong. Wesby, Wisconsin. I could be wrong on both parts. I've been playing it for a couple weeks now. I can't remember. Andy will get it for me. Andy. I'd have to pop out of the stream to look. I can't remember. I play too many maps. That's the problem. If I had my other computer running. Yeah, there it is. Westby. Not Wesby. Westby, Wisconsin, version 2. That's this map. And it's a little bit different from the maps I normally play in that the terrain. Look at the terrain. There's no flat ground, which is real life. That's what real life is like. And they terrace. They do terrace farming. Now, I did talk to somebody that's from Ohio recently, and they did say, yes, this is how they farm, because of the soil conservation, the water runoff, that kind of thing. If water runs over land, it takes land with it. So they do this contour farming here like this to conserve their land and stuff from running off. So it's kind of interesting. I've not played a map that had contour farming on it before. There is a person I watch in real life that's a farmer, Ryan, in How Farms Work. They do this kind of farming, this contour type farming. And I mistakenly said terrace one week. This is not terracing. Terracing is in some countries that have a lot of hills and mountains. They will terrace, where they'll cut a piece of land flat down a hill, and they'll go down another layer, like stair stepping it, so that they can have flat land for farming. That's terracing. This is different. This is contour. Oh, you know what? I think I still have. I still have crop to get out of that combine, don't I? Is it similar to this, R.D. Allen? I haven't watched R.D. Allen in years. When I tell you what, when I started making my own videos on farming, I stopped watching all other videos that do the same kind of thing. But I used to watch R.D. Allen. What was that other guy's name? Robson, was it? A Canadian feller. I used to watch him, and I watched one other, and I can't remember the name of the other one. It's been a while. But I stopped watching all other YouTubers for a couple reasons. The main reason was somebody was playing a map, Idaho, and I was playing the map Idaho. And there's a bunch of people came on, they were just giving me a hell of a time, telling me that I was just copying this other guy. And I was ripping off. You're doing what the other guy's doing. You're just trying to get views from somebody else's webpage. And I honestly had to say, well, I don't know who that person is. So I made it a point of saying, when somebody asked me about some other YouTuber, I would say, I don't know, because I don't watch other YouTubers that do what I do. And I don't. So that way, I don't. Somebody can't say that I'm copying somebody else. There's you don't have to reinvent the wheel. If two people are playing the same game, eventually they're going to be doing the same things. It just works that way. But you get these fanboys that just have to really get upset about it, and I don't understand that, but that's just me. It was kind of funny at the time, though, because I just started YouTubing, and I only had a couple hundred people, and this other guy had hundreds of thousands of people, and I thought, what? You think I'm ripping this guy off? Here's the funny part. The person that they said I was ripping off and copying, the funny part was I went back to see who it was, just to see what am I doing? What am I doing that they think I'm ripping this guy is off, you know? So I went to watch his videos, and here's the interesting thing. I found out that I'd been playing that map about a month before he ever started it. So was I ripping him off, or was he ripping me off? Anyway, so I don't watch other people that do what I do. Besides, I do my things the Rudeman way. I don't think anybody does it my way. Alright, let's see. I guess I don't need this guy. Let me just park it here. I do need to get this guy, and I need to figure out whether this is... Okay, this is soybean straw. Soybean straw is not straw, because normally, as I've said before, on these maps, you don't get straw with soybeans. This is a mod particular to this map. That means that I can't collect this up and store it with straw. I have to actually sell this stuff. So we're just going to pick it up and sell it. Money's always a good thing, right? Yeah, everybody's into the big fields now. I don't know. If I've got a particular style, I wouldn't know what it was, except for the fact that I like to use a lot of equipment. Normally, I'm using Courseplay, and I'm on a big field with 3 or 4 combines running at the same time, 3 or 4 trucks picking up the crops at the same time, feeding animals at the same time. I'm jumping around like crazy normally. This is the first map I've played in a long time where I'm just doing everything myself. No Courseplay. I don't know how you'd use Courseplay on this contoured map. I think you could. You'd have to do manual. Here's the thing with this particular map. If we look at the map itself, this is what's particular about this map. Okay, this is the whole map. Do you notice there are no numbers on the fields? These fields are not numbered. So, if you go to this particular field right here, what number is this? How would you tell Courseplay to do this? Because normally you say, Courseplay, I want you to work on field number 1 and do blah, 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 blah. Now, you could do it, but what you'd have to do is you'd have to manually set the boundaries of what you wanted Courseplay to do and give it a name of your own. So I could trace out the boundaries of this field that I'm on right here, this little strip right here, and call it field number 1A. And this one over here I could do 1B. You just have to name it something so that you can remember which field was which. But it would be kind of hard to use Courseplay, so I decided, oh, I'll just do the work myself. Whoa, I just shut the engine down. Now, if I remember right... Oh, geez, I just took my own mailbox out. No! Alright, let's see. There's a... Yeah, okay, this place to sell this stuff is up yonder, I think. Right there on the map where it says bales. Do I have a... Yeah, I don't. There. I put Courseplay on, so I've got a pointer. Right here where it says bales, that's the place that you have to sell this corn windrow and the soybean windrow, because normally it's not in the game. This is just a mod that the person put in that did this map. Yeah, no kidding. It's Miller time. Courseplay, Miller time. I'm taking off. Well, here's the thing on that, you know, where I mentioned that I don't watch other YouTube guys now. Well, here's the thing. Back then, I just started, and I read every comment I get. I don't get that many because I'm just a small potatoes, page, but I still read all my comments. Back in the day, they would bother me. If somebody complained and said, "Oh, you're ripping somebody off. You're so bad. You're terrible. You're awful. You're just trying to make money. You're doing whatever." That used to really bother me. I'd be very upset if somebody gave me a bad comment. Well, I could care less now. You know, you get used to stuff like that. You get used to the fact that a lot of the internet is good, but there's a whole hell of a lot that's not. And there's a lot of nasty people out there on the internet in whatever form. Twitter's a cesspool. Reddit is about the same as far as I'm concerned. I don't do much on Reddit. I don't go to forums. I used to have a Twitter account. I don't anymore. It's just a cesspool of people. Just terrible people. Treating other people bad, and I don't like that, so I just decided not to read it, not to pay attention to it. If somebody gives me a comment that is negative, or you know, if somebody comes in and says you're just a dummy, you don't know nothing, you're no good, you're terrible, you suck at this, I agree with them. I do. That's the whole point. When you look at my page, it says I do things the Rudeman way. Well, why do I say that? Well, because I am not very good at games. I know that. But games are for having fun. And I want people to know that you don't have to be a professional gamer to have fun on a game. You can be as bad as I am and still have fun. So I say I don't play the game the right way. I don't play it the best way. I don't play it professionally. I play it the Rudeman way because I'm playing a game to have fun. So if people call and say, "You suck, man," I say, "Yeah, I know I do, but it's sure a lot of fun. You should try it." I don't get upset. I don't try to pick a fight with somebody that's trolling me. There's no point in it. If somebody wants to troll me, like even on this live stream, if somebody comes in and starts trolling me, I just ignore them. That's what I've got monitors for. I let my monitors take care of it. I've seen a lot of people that will start fighting with the trolls and doing comebacks with the trolls, and that's not what people come to see. They come to see you play the game, or they come to see what you have to say. You know, they're not really. There's no point in fighting with them. That's what they want to do. They want to make you angry and attack them. And then they laugh. They think it's funny. They think it's fun. That's what trolling's all about. I just ignore them. I ignore them and let my moderators take care of it. That's why I have moderators. My job is to entertain, hopefully entertain. And so I just continue playing and ignore them. Until I find out that they are trolling me, because sometimes you never know. Sometimes it's just a young kid that doesn't know any better, and they come in and they say, "Wow, this game sucks." Well, a lot of people would just say, "Oh yeah, well you suck," and then the fight's on. Well, maybe it's just a kid, and that's how they express themselves. So I will talk to them a little bit until I get a feel as to what their intentions are. Excuse me. So somebody will come in and say, "Wow, this game sucks. Why are you even playing it?" Well, I'll explain to that person what I find that's fun about the game. And then if they continue, then I know, if they continue, I know they're a troll, or I think they are, and then I ignore them from that point on and let the moderators take care of it. Yeah, you could do that with course play. That'd be the only way you could do it on this farm, since they're not numbered. Trolls are funny people, I think. I kind of equate people that troll on the internet. All right, this is a different kind of windrow. So this is corn windrow. I can't pick up corn windrow because I've got soybean windrow in the trailer. I'll have to continue with the soybean. People that troll on the internet kind of remind me of somebody. Okay, there used to be a thing where somebody would walk through a parking lot, an automobile parking lot, and they can't do it anymore because the antennas for radios now are built into windshields, right? There's a wire in your windshield that is the FM and AM antenna. If you have a satellite system in the car, then there's a special antenna either on the front of the top of the car or the rear of the top of the car, the roof of the car. But in the old days, you had an antenna that stuck up off your car. Well, you get some kid, or maybe sometimes it's not even a kid, maybe it's some adult that hasn't grown up, that would walk through a parking lot and just bend every one of those down, tie them into knots or something, and then walk away laughing like that was a lot of fun. And what they're laughing at is the same thing that happens when somebody's walking across the street and they slip and fall, and people will laugh because they think that's funny, that somebody got hurt. It isn't funny, but some people have a different sense of humor. And so I always wonder, if somebody's walking through a parking lot with a key in their hand and they're cutting holes in your paint job, or they're bending the antenna. Well, they can't bend the antennas, we went through that already, but they can still take a key or something sharp and just tear your paint job up, and then walk home laughing that's some funny, that's like I just came from the slide park or something, had a ball, Why is that fun, doing something like that? Well, I think that the people that troll on the internet, it's the same sense of humor. It's the same kind of person. They want to see somebody get upset. They want to trigger somebody because they think that's fun. I just ignore them. I started playing Farm Sim because I thought it was relaxing. I'd get home from work, I'd get in my tractor, I'd go out and harvest a field, I'd play for a couple hours before I went to bed. And to me it was kind of relaxing, and it was kind of satisfying. When I finally got a field planted and sowed and I'm watching my crops go, I kind of felt like I had a sense of accomplishment. And it was relaxing. Plus, if you're playing this game, it'd be very easy to watch a YouTube show, or maybe a Netflix, something like that. It's not like some of the games that you're a third-person shooter, and if you stop to watch something funny on a YouTube page and you come back and you're laying there dead 10 times over. This game's not like that. You could easily watch another watch something. Remember earlier when I said that my battery on my controller went out during a game one time? Guess what just happened? I just had a battery go out. Hopefully I've got one charged up here. There we go. All right, and I got some more to sell. The last load I made about 40,000 on this. That's not bad for a trailer of straw. Somebody talked about dinner earlier. I'm getting hungry. Too early for me to eat, though. Oh, there's my mailbox. Wait a minute. Why are there two mailboxes? Is there two farmhouses here? I took out two mailboxes. Well, if the mod author did it right, when I log out and log back in, they'll be back in position. I hope. Because I want to get my mail. Oh, yeah. If something like that happened to them, they'd be the first to be screaming and the loudest. Isn't that funny how that works? Well, I hate to do it, guys, but I think my time's up for today. I'm going to go and sell this, but in the meantime, I'm going to call it an evening. I hope you all had fun. I want to thank everybody for coming and watching me and spending some time with me. I appreciate it. It makes it a lot funner when there are people here to enjoy it with. And stay tuned. I should be back on Thursday. My normal schedule is 1 to 3 o'clock, Tuesdays and Thursdays for farming. I do other live streams at other times that aren't really posted. It depends whether I've got time or I feel like playing a different game. I've been live streaming some Final Fantasy lately, so that's usually on the weekend though. But anyway, thanks again for coming, and everybody have a good evening, and I'll see you next time, I hope. Good night.